Halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today in International Conference on Management Education, Social Science and Innovation 2021, my name is Hadi, I'm from Indonesia. I would like to present my paper about personal branding, branding on personal. Personal branding forming factors in influence on the entrepreneurial orientation of television artists who have YouTube channel. Okay, let's start. The first introduction. In today's digital era, technology is developing so rapidly. All the time, new technologies emerge, likewise with communication technology. Communication technology that helps humans communicate. At this stage, it can be seen that the use of increasingly sophisticated communication technology is making big change to human communication itself. One of the reasons for this is new media. New media is a media that uses the internet. Technology-based online media has a flexible character, has a potential to be interactive, and can function privately or publicly. One example of new media is YouTube. Especially in digital era like this, value indicators in humans are becoming increasingly important and relevant. Therefore, in the digital era, perception is important. Okay, next slide. YouTube is flexible because it can be watched anywhere, anytime, and by anyone via smartphone, tablet, or PC. Why YouTube? Because the number of television viewers has decreased and is only dominated by elderly. YouTube can be said to be broadcast medium in modern times because its appearance has reduced the audience for conventional broadcast media such as television. YouTube gives you the freedom to choose a show theme, be it entertainment or education. Generally, the videos on YouTube site are video clips, TV shows, films, and videos made by the user themselves. One of the reasons because they prefer to watch online videos such as YouTube, which causes them to be lazy to watch television. Because by watching YouTube, they feel the flexibility of the many kinds of programs. This phenomenon also occurs in the country of Indonesia. There are many reasons why people prefer to watch YouTube over TV or other conventional media. This YouTube phenomenon has also led to new jobs called YouTubers. YouTubers are people who create content which is then displayed on YouTube. In YouTube, it is usually known as Google AdSense. Google AdSense is a joint advertising program through the internet media hosted by Google. This means that YouTube also monetize the content created. That's the benefit. Obtained on YouTube can be the form of popularity or even additional income with easy access and earning. Because of its popularity, usually it will invite sponsor or endorsement of fairly large value. Next, an important focus here is that many television artists in Indonesia have turned to YouTubers. They migrated from conventional media to digital media because they saw something important and promising. This is because YouTube can be accessed anywhere and anytime also. Every human being has a brand that is inherent in him. That the brand that is inherent in a person is a reflection of name they have. It is called a personal brand. Personal brand is also known as a reputation that reflects the value within oneself, which indicators are attached to the person. So it can be said that personal brand refers to the perception of other people seeing us. Positive personal branding is needed by every human being. However, not all humans have good personal branding. Having good personal branding is the key to achieve success. This study tries to connect the concept of personal branding in a business context. In this case, there is entrepreneurial orientation. This is considered important so that it can be used as a reference. That the importance of personal branding has implication for creating benefit in a business context. Next slide, literature review. A brand in the product cannot be separated. Therefore, anyone who has brand must carry out the concept of branding as a means of communicating the product of the market. So in this case, branding can be interpreted as an effort so that the brand attached to a product. It's still remembered by a consumer because of its differentiation element. Individual is a product that has a brand. Brand is also defined as a name that is in product. When someone has a brand, in the end that person will carry out promotional activities about themselves because the person is a product and certainly has a value inherent in the brand of the product. Branding activities will be carried out by yourself. Brand is a relationship and not just a statement. Yeah. From this meaning, it can be seen that a brand something that has identity and can be developed, as in the context of company. A brand that inherent in humans must have a clear identity. Branding changes the way people think because it changes perception about the product, yeah, or service or someone where it builds a value. Next slide. Because in fact, humans are a product that has a brand. This concept is called personal branding. The concept of branding on product can also be applied within oneself. Personal branding reflects that humans are brand and they can shape this by several factors. Personal branding is a marketing concept related to the marketing strategy that a person adopts to promote their personal characteristic. Personal branding is like an aura that comes out in a person's. Other people will see, then they will perceive someone in their minds. Yeah. Therefore, personal branding can be measured by several factors according to several researchers. This means that factor here are factor that can measure the formation of personal branding in person. From several factors put forward by some experts, it can also be explored more deeply about the subject of the research related to factors that affect personal brandings, meaning that there are differences in seeing a research subject that result in difference in measuring factor. So below of the table, based on the table, many have taken examples in the application of their personal branding, namely public figure and professional with their respective profession. But it's clear that the previous studies on personal branding were studies that led to the discussion of the variables themselves that were not associated with other variables. And the next slide, this is the variable and the object of the researchers, public figure, artist or politician, and etc. Someone who has entrepreneurial orientation is likely to be successful in a small business because it represents the ability to meet a changing market and manage risk. Entrepreneurial orientation can be seen as the process of making entrepreneurial strategies used by key decision makers, their company organization goal, maintain their vision, and create a competitive advantage. So the unique dimensional of entrepreneurial orientation construction with 3 dimensions in this case: innovation, proactivity, and risk taking. Especially when this is a new normal condition. In addition, small business with an entrepreneurial orientation can engage in environmentally stable practices in developing countries. So next slide, discussion and conclusion. From the table, several artists who are currently successful seen from their achievement indicators, number of subscribers, cannot be separated from the personal branding process that is being carried out so that they get a good position for YouTube channel lovers. Even though artists depart from a brand that is already embedded in the eyes of the public, but YouTube as a new media has a different way of working from television or conventional media. So YouTube as a new media has a different way of working from television or conventional media. So how personal branding carried out by top artists who have succeeded in conventional media has made the channel and entrepreneurial orientation in obtaining safety net. However, many people do not realize and do not manage personal branding properly. Everyone is competing to build their personal branding according to their areas of expertise and interest. Personal branding can shape one's perceptions of others by telling experiences to others naturally so that other people think that these perceptions are built by themselves. Personal branding can also be said to be a process in which a person is seen as a brand by the target market. Every artist who starts using YouTube as their new medium has almost the same characteristic. The content that is created is a manifestation of everyday life through impressions that are made naturally. The need for this content is the result of the interaction of the artist with the viewers in the YouTube comment column, which is then realized by the curation of their respective channel management. So that's, I think, are the main concept that are used reference in the building personal branding, like specialization, leadership, personality, distinctiveness, visibility, unity, persistence, and goodwill. This is an analysis of the indicators that are relevant as factor that shape artists is making a strategy of their YouTube channel. From this process, successful personal branding will provide an opportunity to make his own value into a product that can be manifested as an entrepreneur's agenda. So the next slide. Entrepreneurial orientation can be seen as the process of making entrepreneurial strategies. Entrepreneurial orientation is most likely to be successful in the small business because it represents the ability to meet changing market and manage risk. Entrepreneurial orientation helps a small business to overcome the limitation associated with developing their strategic orientation. Unidimensional construction with three dimensions, in this case innovation, proactivity, and risk-taking. The effort of artists who use YouTube channel in dealing with their channels, which are field of carrying out of personal branding. Personal branding process as a goal in entrepreneurial orientation. So this is the model. Next slide. We can see at the model, it can be explained that an artist must have the factors that form personal branding because that is what they will sell on their YouTube channel. With complete personal branding forming factors that they have will directly make them an orientation in terms of entrepreneurship. It is said that entrepreneurs here are because they do this differently from conventional media. They prepare their own management, think about the content to be made, time management, crew honoring, and etc. From that, it has been seen that the way these artists will always think about innovation, proactive attitude, a basis for taking risks, and also have to increase their aggressiveness in competition. This means that competition is increasingly complex and all levels are required to be more creative. All of that comes from their personal branding. They start to build personal branding, then make it sustain, which in turn will affect their entrepreneurial orientation. It was all done on the basis of their decision to migrate to digital platforms and leave the conventional media. Yeah, and the point is that these artists should always think about the innovation they have, such as innovation in their specialties, their differences, and their authenticity. When the artists think about the content to be uploaded, there is a concept of risk-taking that's carried out. They take risks from what they may not have done before. They be able to create what content their subscribers like. They must be proactive by reading or even replying to comments. Yes, and finally, that's when all the personal branding factors are mobilized to get a good result. Okay, so thanks for the attention. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a nice day.